What is up, guys? Since I asked you for recommendations of places that I should do more walkthroughs, I've been inundated. I've got a list and I'm working through them. If you've got anything else to add to the list, comment below. Today, I'm in Greenford. Greenford Driving Test Centre. If your driving test is in Greenford, this video is going to be super helpful for you. Greenford Driving Test Centre is here along this parade of shops in this little residential area, which means it's quite quiet where you start your driving test. They don't have their own car park, so you can just park anywhere along this main road, but preferably probably one of the side roads, because that's going to be quieter and easier for you to pull away on your driving test. The test centre itself is very small, very basic, slightly outdated. The waiting room is tiny, and here's the kicker, there's no toilets. So I'd recommend stopping off at a supermarket on your way here if this is your driving test centre. Other than that, let's get on with it. I'm going to show you guys what Greenford Driving Test Centre is like. The hard bits, the easy bits, and everything else in between. Let's go! Okay, so first off, because it's a residential area, the start of your driving test is not too tricky, not too difficult.
After 200 yards, turn left.
Thank you very much. I can imagine that this road can get busy sometimes when there's multiple learners setting off at the same time on their driving test. But because you're not on a main road, Greenford, that's quite a luxury.
Turn left.
No problem, mirror, signal. First 5 minutes of your driving test, you're going to feel nervous. That's okay. Happens to everyone, completely normal. Goes away after 5 minutes. Once the examiner starts chatting to you, starts telling you stupid jokes, you're going to feel better. And the driving examiners at Greenford are nice. I was chatting to a guy from Red outside the test centre just now. He said the examiners at Greenford, he didn't actually do that. He just said they're nice.
At the end of the road, turn right.
There's nothing worse than a moody examiner. Not moody, but quiet.
Turn right.
They're all fair. They're not, but they're humans. Everyone can have a bad day. So, you know, examiners are examiners. There's examiners and then there's Hither Green, Sarah and Charlotte level. Greenford's nice. The area
At the end of the road, turn right.
seems pretty easy as well. Like this isn't hard. This isn't hard, it's just residential roads. Be careful of meeting situations though. This is a hill start. We love a hill start. If you don't love hill starts, watch the video about hill starts. That one there. Got it? Cool. And as always with this, all of these walkthroughs are the same. I want to pass and drive well, but what I want to do more is bring you guys awesome content. Awesome content, priority 1. Driving well, priority 2. That's how much I care about you guys. So if I make any mistakes because I'm concentrating on chatting to you guys, then let me know in the comments, for sure. Yeah, let's see how many mistakes I make.
200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
That'll be a fun game. For example, taking my hands off the steering wheel to point at the text box above about...
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
About hill starts. Okay, roundabouts. Greenford has a few roundabouts. They aren't too tricky. If you've taken your driving test at Greenford, I want to know how it was. I want to know whether it was difficult, whether it was easy. What was your examiner like? What's your experience of Greenford? If you haven't been here before and you don't know what we do, we are a community to help everybody learn to drive, and we help each other. So welcome. Firstly, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And then secondly, go and join the conversation on Instagram at Driving School TV. We post cool stuff, funny stuff on TikTok as well, at Driving School TV. So welcome to the community. You've got a place here and we're all here to help each other learn better and drive better. And pass your driving test, obviously. So put it in the comments, your experience of Greenford.
200 yards, turn left.
I can fully imagine this is where they're gonna pull you up on the left a couple of times. This is a busy road that might make it a little bit more difficult to pull away again. Thanks, SatNav. Also, because I've done a lot of mock tests on people, we do private mock tests as well. I realised that quite a lot of people don't know how to use a TomTom sat-nav. Like, you've had driving lessons, mirror, signal, but you don't know how to use a TomTom. Crazy. I know, crazy, right? The TomTom gets brought out 4 in 5 driving tests. 4 in 5. You might have to read road signs for 1 in 5 driving tests. So be good at both. Do you know what? The other thing that I find people aren't really good at is reading road signs, because you're concentrating so much on the road ahead that you miss the road signs. Those are 2 of the core things that you're gonna have to be good at on your driving test. Ooh, width restrictor, 6'6". This is a small one. I'm going into first gear for sure. This doesn't look 6'6". Oh my God, that was skinny. Breathe in. Wow. Okay, so if you're a learner, width restrictors can be scary and daunting. Another one on the other side. Come on, if I got through the last one, I'm gonna get through this one. Did they just put this here to make driving tests harder? This looks so skinny. Wow. Greenford is mean. All right. Width restrictors are something that you need to practice on. If you bump them on your driving test, you fail. So, I mean, all cars fit through width restrictors unless you've got something stupid like a Range Rover, which you wouldn't take a driving test in. All cars fit through width restrictors.
Yards, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
What she said. You just have to practice them and be good at them and be confident. Driving test isn't so much about if you can drive well, it's about your confidence. You wouldn't be taking a driving test if you couldn't drive well.
Left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Got it. But if you're not confident, your driving test is going to be an absolute nightmare. You won't show your level of skill at all if you're not confident. And that doesn't mean like arrogance. There's a massive difference between I'm going to have to be a little bit cheeky and bully my way out here. Otherwise I'll be there ages. There's a massive difference between confidence and arrogance. Don't be arrogant like, yeah, I'm the best driver. No, you're not. You haven't got a driving license. But be confident. Like, I believe in myself. I believe in my abilities. If you don't believe in yourself or your abilities, here's a trick. Go look at yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself 5 times every single day when you wake up, I'm a good driver. Do you know what? My instructors told me to book my test. I'm a good driver. I can drive. Before you go to bed, mirror again. I've had a good day today and I'm a really good driver. Today's been a positive day and I can drive. Just positive reinforcement helps so much. On driving lessons, if you've got a good driving instructor, your driving instructor should be giving you positive reinforcement and telling you where you do things well. If not, then, I don't know, you either don't do things well at all or your driving instructor is not a great teacher. Positive reinforcement is so important, and on your driving test, no one's going to be there to tell you, well done, you know what, that junction was awesome. So you have to do that for yourself, and that takes confidence. Oh, this fan is being very aggressive, very aggressive. It's a merging situation, and it's a very busy road. I tend to find white van drivers are always in a hurry. They're either delivering stuff or picking stuff up. Like, time is money. DPD, Hermes, Parcel Force, are they still a thing, Parcel Force? They're always in a hurry because the longer they take to deliver the parcels, the later they get home from work, and they still get paid the same. So they're gonna be aggressive drivers. But in a merging situation, how it should work like
After
that,
300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the first exit.
great, is we take one car from either side. So left side, right side, left side, right side. It should be one each. We don't need to signal for a merging situation because the road is just merging. Merge with it, we're not changing lanes. I would want to practice that a few times if I was taking my test here. For sure, like that felt intimidating. That van was intimidating. That one, this dude. And he cut the corner. That's a definite fail. See what he did to the Audi? That's why you don't cut corners. The Audi was coming down the road. If the Audi wasn't concentrating or it was a motorbike traveling really fast, that could have been a nasty accident. Greenford. Is Greenford all right? I'm not sure I'd choose this as my favorite test center. Especially not when Isleworth's around the corner. Like, Isleworth is bloody lovely. All right, let's go.
After 80 yards, cross the roundabout and take the first exit.
No probs. All right, left lane, but there's a car in it, so I'm gonna try and move around the car. Great. Wow, people drive like nuts in Greenford. Greenford's crazy. That motorbike nearly got, wow. No way. Why are people so crazy in Greenford? Comment below. What's going on around here? What's in the water? I don't get it. People are aggressive. 30 miles an hour. Send it! Pow! Let's go. All right, finally. It's good to see that everything's not 20 miles an hour around here. Sensible speed limits. Makes sense. I can imagine this is where the examiner is going to ask you to do a show me question. It's a nice long straight road. Notice what I did when I overtook that van there. Checked my mirrors.
After 300 yards, turn right.
Thanks. Parked cars are hazards. We need to respect them as hazards. Check your mirror before you go round them. Okay, they're stationary, I know, so they're not posing a threat to you, but you've got to do something. You've got to move and get around them. So respect the hazard and make sure that you're checking what if a motorbike's passing you at the same time. It's all about safety. Like, the driving test isn't hard at all. It's so basic. Oh, this is tight. The driving test is so basic, really, really basic. You just have to satisfy the examiner with two things. Are you safe? Are you in control of the vehicle? That's it. This is going to be a prime spot for a pull-up on the right. Amazing. I'm not going to do maneuvers on this walkthrough because it's not a test of if Francis can do maneuvers. If you want to watch me do maneuvers,
At the end of the road, turn right, then bear left.
click that one. Click that. Yeah. Click that. You can watch me and Laura do all of the maneuvers with two different methods. So perfect for you if you're learning with your mum, dad, friends, or family. Two instructors teaching you two different methods for
Turn right,
all of the
then
maneuvers.
bear left.
Banging video, it's quite funny too. Meeting situation. Damn. Who had priority there? Good question. She did, because the hazard, the parked car, is on my side. So I had to pull over there. This junction's very, very closed. So I'm peeping and creeping out and peeping round the corner. Not taking risks with my driving test. No way. No way. All right. This,
Bear left,
yeah.
then at the end of the road, turn left.
Greenford's not easy at all. And if your slot's in Greenford, I mean, obviously you could pass here, but practice a lot. I'm letting these pedestrians go because that's the highway code now, which you guys obviously know. If you're learning with friends, family, mum or dad, this is why these videos are so helpful, because the kind of stuff that your dad's going to be teaching you is the kind of stuff that your dad learned. The highway code got updated recently though, so he wouldn't probably know to let pedestrians go. I mean, your dad might be awesome, don't know your dad, and he might know and be up to speed on everything. At junctions, pedestrians have priority. If there's one walking towards a junction or at a junction, you let them go first. Doesn't apply to roundabouts, just to complicate and confuse things. If you're at a roundabout, you've got priority. But obviously if a pedestrian's crossing, then you're not going to go and run them over and say, "Oi, had priority, off to hospital." So let's think about Greenford so far. Loads of traffic. It's really busy. People drive like nutcases. The driving test centre doesn't have a toilet. Greenford might be my least favourite driving test centre. If you're from Greenford, it's absolutely nothing against the area, but for a driving test, this is pants. Awful.
After 200 yards, turn left.
Look at that crossing, like, it's so busy. Granted, fine, you might not be doing your driving test at school time, but if you are, because there's tests out now, this place is pants. This place is horrible. When we're stopped at traffic lights, some instructors say you must put your handbrake on. Some instructors say you don't need to. I'm here to tell you guys, you don't need to put your handbrake on at traffic lights. Here's why it's advisable. If the car behind doesn't know that it's a traffic light and goes straight into the back of you, you're then going to probably come off the foot brake and then lurch into the pedestrian crossing. Cool? That's why.
After 90 yards, turn right, then take the second left.
But on your driving test, you have to have your foot brake on. Don't sit there riding the clutch. Especially not on a hill. I'm in first gear, I'm at the front of the queue and I've got my foot brake on. That's what I would advise you to do if you're on a driving test. Why? Why don't I take the safest option? Because I'm on a driving, it's a driving test. Come on. I'm at the front of the queue. If I'm now gonna have to start messing about with handbrakes and stuff, that's gonna be much more difficult and it's gonna make me take ages. There's a lady on the left of me. Hi. Yeah. That well put me off. I was talking and I could see her. Oh, funny. Bloody love YouTube. Come on. Yeah, I'm at the front of the queue. I'm in first gear and I'm ready to set off. I'm not adding extra steps in between the lights going green and me setting off. Don't do it. I mean, yeah, do it. Do what your instructor says, but we just want to make the driving test as easy as possible, right? And once you've passed, think about anybody else that you drive with. Who puts their handbrake on at traffic lights? Nobody. Just drive like normal.
After 200 yards, turn left.
It's not supposed to be like extra stuff. The driving test isn't all drive like that. Do you know the funniest thing that I hear is, once you've passed your driving test, you're going to learn how to drive. No.
Turn left.
Well, not with me anyway. You're going to learn how to drive when you're in the car with me. You're going to learn how to drive properly when you're in the car with me, not after you've passed your driving test and start doing reckless stuff. Absolutely not. Drive properly on your driving test, that's all they want. Just be safe. 20 miles an hour road. This road's quite nice. I can see it being, I was about to say I can see it being tricky for meeting situations, and there's a massive Argos lorry coming towards me. I'm going to take the easiest route and stop here. Instead of forcing the Argos lorry into the obvious gap on the right, I'm taking control of this situation. The only thing that you control is what you do. You can't control what other people do. It would have been ideal to force the Argos lorry into the right, because then I've got the easiest job. I just need to stop, wait for them to drive to the right and then carry on. But what if they don't? Can't control if other people give you way. Right of way is something you can only give. You can't take it. So if you want to take full control, ultimate control of a situation, give priority. This road's nice, yeah, okay. I'm actually starting to breathe normally now, because so far,
after 100 yards,
it's been tricky.
Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Giving me a roundabout, that's cool. I can deal with that. It's a mini roundabout.
Go
Mirror,
right on the roundabout
signal.
and take the third exit.
And because it's a mini roundabout, I'm going to go all the way around the paint. Even though it's only paint, this is a good example of what I was talking about before. If there's pedestrians on the road, even if it's a roundabout, we can't run them over, obviously. Yeah, this is the first opportunity I've had to relax on this driving test route, and I'm a driving instructor. If I wasn't making a YouTube video, obviously I'd be driving just normally, but not normally, you know what I mean? But because I'm actually concentrating and trying to drive properly, this is hard. Hated that high street. Hated the fact that there wasn't a toilet as well, because I wanted to use it. What I want you to do for me now, guys, is comment below some nice things about Greenford. Because I'm struggling, not gonna lie. Okay, got one. The nice thing about Greenford, this isn't a junction, this is a continuation of the road, so I'm not gonna signal. The nice thing about Greenford is that it is a test centre. And with the waiting times right now, if we didn't have Greenford Test Centre, the waiting times would be worse. There we go, got one. The nice thing is the fact that they do driving tests. Nailed it. Checking mirrors. Here's where people mess up. A top tip for you if you've got your driving test. when you're doing a meeting situation like this, a car coming towards you on a narrow road, only room for one, you're looking at the hazard, you're looking at the car coming towards you and then ducking into the passing place. You haven't checked the mirrors. The speed I'm doing right now as well, 11 miles an hour, 13.
80 yards, bear left.
There could be a cyclist on my left going past me because they can slip through gaps smaller than I can and they don't have to.
Bear left.
Bear left, no, that road is just continuing again. Cyclists can slip through gaps, they don't have to wait for the gaps. So there might be one overtaking you at the same time as you pulling into that gap. That's going to be a big problem if you're passing places, if you're using them without checking your mirrors. There's nothing coming up, but let me show you what I mean. So what speed am I doing now? 18, 17 miles an hour. If I duck into this gap to let someone go past me and there's a cyclist there, big problem. And the thing is, what you might say is, okay, there wasn't a cyclist there then, so it wasn't a problem. But what the examiner's thinking is, if you're the kind of person that moves position that much on a road when you're driving that slowly, completely unaware of cyclists, if you're that kind of person, if I give you a driving license, eventually you're going to hit someone, so you won't pass. This guy was super dramatic. I left loads of room on the right, but he decided to reverse anyway, no problem. Green for drivers should be a new thing. Hashtag green for drivers. Hashtag green for drivers. Let's make it happen. Let's make that hashtag happen. Oh, that sun is dazzling.
Turn left, then turn right.
Wait, what? Turn left, then turn right. Okay, I'm turning right. That was just a...
Turn right, then bear left.
This is so confusing. What's Greenford? What's wrong with Greenford? Come on. There was no need for that at all. Not even a little bit. Turning left at the end of this road. I'm looking ahead on the sat-nav as well, so that I know where I'm going next before she even calls it out. Mirror,
Turn right
signal.
on the roundabout and take the third exit.
Also good to know, if you're taking your driving test at this time of day, it's 3 o'clock right now, the sun is super low. Bring sunglasses. You can wear sunglasses on your driving test. It's a really good idea. Like, really good idea.
After 800 yards, turn right.
Harrow Road. I've heard of Harrow Road. This is nice. This is a dual carriageway, but it's 30 miles an hour. And it's really long and straight. Problem is, I'm driving into the sun. So, oh, naughty. So, visors, use it. And also sunglasses, use that too. Otherwise, if you're squinting, it's really difficult to see the road lines, road markings. Like, it's just merged, and I almost missed that. The road's just merged, and I nearly missed it.
At the end of the road, turn right, then turn left.
All right, cool. End of the road, turn right, then turn left. If I repeat the instruction to myself as well, then great. Helps me to remember it and carry out the action. Because I'm turning right, I'm positioning nice and early to the right. Mirror and signal. I was anticipating that traffic light too.
Turn right, then turn left.
That dual carriageway, that was pretty nice. That was easy. So yeah, yeah. That was pretty nice, pretty easy. The thing about dual carriageways is you've got to be making progress. If the car in front of you is not going fast enough, overtake them, which can be daunting. Mirror signal, move to the right, mirror signal, move back. Because that was quite a long road. And if the car in front's a learner, early stages, or doing just driving slowly, because some people do, overtake. The other thing is, drive on the left. You wouldn't believe how many times I've heard of people failing. I wasn't concentrating, was I? You wouldn't believe the amount of times I've heard of people failing. Do you know what? I could have done that a lot better.
Turn left.
Both lanes there, lucky it's merging now, both lanes there went right, and I didn't see the road marking. So if you're taking your test there, practice that for sure. Because if you're turning right and then left, I would have rather been on the left lane of the two that I'm driving in, so that I can exit on the left. Made it work though. And here's the thing, like, people worry about ending up on the right, because it's really important to drive on the left. People worry about that quite a lot. But it's not a massive problem if you end up on the right. Don't start panicking, and don't quickly move back to the left. Take your time moving back to the left, because you don't fail for being on the right. You only fail for getting undertaken. So check your mirrors, signal, and move when you can. Is this more traffic? Come on, Greenford. Hope you guys are keeping score. Hope you guys are watching, looking out for mistakes. There's definitely been 2 so far. Put them down below. We'll talk. I'm always in the comments, commenting back with you guys. I don't just fling up videos and leave them. I'll be there in the comments with you. So let's chat. Also, join us on Instagram. That's where we chat the most. Love a bit of Instagram action. Who loves Instagram? Put your hand up. All right, obviously we've skipped all that because sitting in traffic's boring and no one learns anything. Always try and avoid traffic on lessons. Even when I'm driving on my own, I'd rather take the long route than sit in traffic. Even if it takes longer in time, I'd rather just be moving than sitting in traffic. It's the most infuriating thing about London. It's just constant traffic everywhere. If you're not from London, comment below, where are you from? And what's it like driving there? Whenever I go out of London, it's always really nice. Like, nice vibe to drive. Nice driving vibe. We are nearly at the end of the driving test route, which means, because you've been practicing around here, if your driving test is here, unfortunately, that you're going to recognise that you're coming back to the driving test centre. Where are we? Sudbury Hill Station. Cool. You're going to recognise that you're coming back to the driving test centre, so you're going to be thinking about how your driving test has gone. I remember, everybody remembers their driving test, for sure. I remember my driving test. I remember doing this, and I messed up right at the end. Luckily, my examiner was really nice about it and let me off, and I passed first time. I was that dickhead that passes first time and talks about it. Yeah, sorry. But learn from me. Don't think about the fact that you're nearly finished. Even though you know you're nearly finished, now you're going to be thinking, okay, right, I did that and I did that and I did that. I wonder if I'll pass. But now you're not concentrating, so stay focused until the very end of your driving test, when the examiner tells you to turn the engine off, so that you don't mount the curb like I did, coming back into Hither Green Driving Test Centre. When the sat-nav says you've reached your destination, that doesn't mean your driving test is finished. You only do 20 minutes of independent driving with a sat-nav. Why do they call it independent driving if you're actually using a sat-nav? It's not independent, the sat-nav's telling you where to go. Independent driving would be just, right, here's a car, go and drive about for a bit. Choose where we, right. Anyway, independent driving is with a sat-nav or following road signs. You only do it for 20 minutes.
80 yards, turn left, then you have reached your destination.
You only do it for about 20 minutes, and then 10 minutes the examiner's going to direct you. In total, the driving test is only about 30 minutes of actual driving. Yeah, they say 38 to 40 minutes, but manoeuvre, wasting time, stopping on the left loads of times, wasting time. You've got to do an eyesight check, show me, tell me questions, signing the examiner's iPad form, loads of things, wasting time. It's about 30 minutes of driving in total. So 20 minutes iPad, 10 minutes, 20 minutes iPad, 20 minutes sat-nav, and 10 minutes of verbal directions from the examiner. So the driving test isn't very long at all. It's basically an episode of Simpsons and done. Cool, so now I'm going to direct myself back to the driving test centre.
Destination.
Let's turn right. Take the next road on the right, Francis. No problem. Mirror. Signal. Position. Speed. I don't think Greenford's impossible to pass in, but it's more difficult than it needs to be. I don't think that Greenford is especially tricky in spite of those tiny, tiny width restrictors, but it's more tricky than it needs to be. It's tighter than it needs to be. Like, do you know what I mean? Greenford could be easier, but they've made it, I feel like they've made it hard on purpose, just for the driving test. Like those width restrictions, they didn't need to be 2 of them, did there? Like, come on. We are back at the driving test centre, and what we're gonna do is pull over. Let's find somewhere to pull over outside the test centre, or if not, we'll turn left. Let's stop here. I'm gonna stop on the right. I'm gonna do a banging reverse park on the wrong side. Not the wrong side. You can reverse park on the right. They won't ask you to on your driving test though. Absolutely not. Slick. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know where else you want me to go and do walkthroughs. Drive safe.